Hari Om, Bhajagovindam chanting verses 26 till the end.
Kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham Atmajnana vihina mudha te pachyante narakanigudha Yeyam Gita Nama Sahasram Dheyam Shripati Rupamajasram Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam Sukhatah kriyate Rama bhogah paschadhanta sharire rogah Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchati papacharanam Arthamanartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukhalesha satyam Putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatra isha vihitaritihi Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam Japya sameta samadhi vidhanam purvavadhanam mahadavadhanam Guru charanambuja nirbhara bhaktah samsaradachirat bhavamuktaha Sendriya manasa niyamadevam Drakshasi nija hridayastham devam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Samprapte sannihite kale Nahi rakshati dukrin karane Nahi rakshati dukrin karane Nahi rakshati dukrin karane
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Till you are able to get on to the self-inquiry, practice these things, he says. That is the context. Until you are ready for self-inquiry, you have to practice this, the study and reflection on the scriptures, which is what is referred here as chanting of the Bhagavad Gita and Sahasranama. References to Vishnu Sahasranama, we say this. Because Vishnu Sahasranama chanting and Gita chanting is advised for the general public. The Vedic chanting is not advised for the general public. because the Vedic chanting necessitates the swaras to be retained appropriately, which demands a person to learn that in a systematic manner. It's like you have to learn how to play violin from a competent teacher, without which, if you start playing, sound will come. But for you, it will look fantastic. Only for others, it will be jarring. When you play, violin without any training, it demands a lot of application and training. You make mistakes, they correct your mistakes, correct mistakes, correction, and that demands a very high discipline. Similarly, the Vedic chanting necessitates all that, whereas the Bhagavad Gita or Vishnu Sahasranama and all doesn't require this. Now he just gives these two things as examples. Okay. Now you can take the shlokas and the things from from Kannada or Telugu or Tamil or Hindi or Bengali, whatever the language you have, you are comfortable with. You can take it up. There is no rule as such that it has to be only Sanskrit, because Shankara is familiar with that language and he is speaking that, he is referring the text in that language, right? That doesn't mean you have to study only these two things, nothing other than this. In the context, what we have to understand is this: instead of going for this chanting, Vedic chanting, which demands discipline and appropriate learning for a long period of time, you cannot say, I will learn only that one mantra from the Vedas and start chanting. You cannot do that. It's not allowed. You can't just take, whereas in the Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama and all, you can do that. You can just take that one sloka. You can isolate one sloka and learn and chant. It will be effective. You won't lose anything. You see. Whereas when it comes to this one, like, a lot of them chant, Sri Rama Rame Tirame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varan. You can chant that. You don't need to be knowing, from the beginning. That entire, Vishnu Sahasranama did not be memorized. If you can memorize it. It's not very heavy. But if you cannot do, you can isolate a sloka and chant. Whereas in the Vedas, you cannot do that. You can't isolate one sloka and do. It is just, it's not acceptable in the Vedic chanting. So you have to learn the Vedic chanting, means you need to spend full time, at least about 5 to 7 years minimum. Full time. I mean, or at least you have to learn that one sukta full. One full portion you have to study. Like Rudram, you have to take that whole thing. Or Purusha Sukta, take that whole Purusha Sukta. And you have to learn that from a competent teacher who knows, who is an expert in that. And then you can chant perhaps. But when it comes to these things, you don't require, because there is no swara for it. That's all. These, chantings, there is no swara requirement. Therefore, anybody can learn. So it is recommended that you can't do these things. Do this Parayana of Gita or this Vishnu Sahasranama. Stotra, that's what it meant. What it means is this, some stotra you can take and chant, which is more of an intellectual discipline. This is, till you need to have that chanting. Now, if you practice this Vishnu Sahasranama, you would know. You don't do it on a daily basis. If you keep chanting is, in fact, that's what happened to me. I am very, familiar with this. When I went to the academy for about 3 years, we were not chanting there and all that. We had our own things to do there, so we are not practicing. But I knew that by memory. but for three years or so, I was not chanting. And then, of course, I came back. Then also, I was not practicing this and all that. So then I came to Bangalore. After I came to Bangalore, after about, so they put all together, it's about 4 years. After 4 years, one day, I starting to chant. I go there, come back to that same point. After second time only, I realized I'm repeating the same thing. No, I'm getting stuck somewhere else. Only then I realized, God, it demands a lot of focused thing right through to be done in your life. You can't just learn and leave it. You have to keep practicing it on a daily basis, regularly. If not on a daily basis, at least regularly you have to do it. Once a week at least you have to do the whole thing. Should be enough. You don't need to worry much about it. Which gives a discipline. It gives an intellectual discipline, that is one. Second one he says is all this you have to do, okay, till you qualify for self-inquiry. You have to practice these things. One. Two, he says, Dhyayam Sripati Rupam, he says. Always keep your focus, meditate on this. This is the bhakti, devotion, or upasana we call it. The devotional aspect is to have this vision, visualizing the form of God, which gives a better ability to connect than to have God without form. Nirguna upasana is far more complicated and difficult to comprehend and hold on to. But saguna upasana is little easy, God with the form. That's why he recommends that. Sripati Rupam. You can visualize. Now you can do that with any God. There's no necessity that you have to visualize only Vishnu, please. If you are comfortable with Shiva, you do with Shiva. You are comfortable with Rama, you do Rama. You're comfortable with Krishna, you do Krishna. We don't care. We don't have an issue in terms of who you visualize. But visualization helps. The Rupa, why these idols came into picture. Now, I take the mouse and show to all of you, right? This is black. I say, do you have any issue on that? You will not have any issue on this. Suppose if I take this and show to all of you and say, this is white, you will have a resistance, isn't it? If I show this and say, this is white, all of you will have a resistance and objection to it. No, I think Ishwaran, this is not white, this is black. Now, idol worship means we take this, show this to you, you know this is black. I tell you, imagine this to be yellow in color. Okay? All of you can visualize. That's called idol worship. Nothing else. Idol, it's not that, we don't know that is stone. Everybody knows that is stone. Why? Because the fellow, he is the one who has ordered it. I am the one who ordered that stone to be installed there. It's not that I don't know that is stone. It's not that I don't know this is made up of brass. I know all those things. But then what we say is, imagine that to be God. That's all. We are not saying that is God. This is where we got lost. But for me, who was able to visualize God in that, it will appear God is that, isn't it? You're all following me? I don't know. This is the problem in the Zoom class. I can't even it's a little difficult. That's about it. It's nothing complicated or anything. You see, There are students you would have seen, have a particular idea that if I go to examination hall, if I write that exam with that particular pen, I score marks. Correct? He believes that. Now, if I steal that pen from him, if I hide that pencil or I hide that pen, suddenly you will find he would not be able to write his exam at all, actually. Isn't it? Now the question is he passing the exams because of his knowledge or because of the pen? If it is in the pen, I take that pen, I write that exam, I should be able to pass. I am not able to pass. That pen works only for him. It doesn't work for me. For another person, it's the picture of a God. He takes the picture and keeps it on his pocket. Now, if he has that picture, he believes what? Yeah. Now, if I take that picture, it will not work. That pen works only for him. Why? Remember, it's not inherent in the pen. It's not pen per se. There is something that he has attributed, associated in the past with the pen. Therefore, that pen works for him. Now, from his angle, you look at it, he will believe as what? I passed because of what? Like you ask all these people, who had, achieved successful in life, who lost his father or mother. Ask him. He says, it's all because of the blessings of my father, he will say. Now, when that man was alive, he had no power. Worthless fellow he is, useless guy he is. Suddenly he dies, he becomes all powerful to an extent where he can simply bless you and you become successful. Is there any logic in that, sir? There's no logic. But for him, that's the belief. You see that? Why? How that belief came into picture? Because of his constant visualization. You see, that's all these idols are. Idols are a device created by these masters to trigger visualization. And each one has got his own visualization. Now, you can't say, my visualization is what everybody should have. At the same time, we know it's just a visualization. There is no reality to it. There is no cause and effect relationship. You can't say, this is the cause, this is the effect. That is why Ganesha works for one person. It doesn't work for everybody. He helps only few people. Why? He chooses or what? No. He is not choosing. Then what is it, sir? It is my visualization. That visualization, to facilitate that visualization, is where we have this idols. Now don't say it's all idolatry, it's all waste. No, it's a very, very powerful tool. Remember, only mistake we make is, since it has worked for me, since that pen worked for that boy will treat that pen as all powerful, isn't it? Any exam I want to write, he will say what? All that I require is just that pen to be with me. That's enough. I'll just keep that pen. I won't even use it. I'll just write the first sentence in that pen. I write my roll number with that pen. I write my name in that pen. Enough. I will pass. I don't need anything else. That's the power of my pen, he will say. He believes that. How that it works for him, it will not work for you and me. Now for us, since it is not working, we will say what? Nonsense that is. But to me, my father will work, right? My mother will work, or something else will work for me. But that pen may not work for me, but something else I have to replace it. Remember, it is like, imagine this to be yellow. That's all. Now, in that visualization, your mind develops a focus. Now, this devotion, this form, idols, and all those things are given to us to practice concentration, focus on the mind. You see, that's why he gives this here. Sripati Rupam, he says. Now, in that form, you start reveling in that form. Your eyes will not go anywhere. When I say eyes, I don't mean physical eyes. I'm talking about your mental eye. Your thought will not go anywhere else. You would go on visualizing it. That visualization is the power of devotion, providing you this focus, ability to stay with something for a longer period of time. For that, this discipline is given. So your effort has to be what, sir? Two things. First, study, reflection, memorization, all those things put together, everything. All that you got to memorize. You can even memorize English poems. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. All at once I saw a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, etc. You can go. Now you got to memorize. I don't have to know. You can take even English poem for memorization. I'm not saying it has to be only Vishnu Sahasranama you got to memorize. Vishnu Sahasranama, you won't even understand what are you talking. Therefore, it is better to memorize in your mother tongue. If you ask me what is the best thing to do, sir, I say best thing is, if you are going to start with something, pick up something from your mother tongue. There are so many shlokas, stotras are there. Poetries have been given by those people. Great poetries are there. Now, any Indian language, enough material is there. We may not have so much of physics book in our this one, but every language in India has got hundreds of works available for us. You can pick up any one of that and learn. If nothing is there, take English poetry. Gives you a fantastic memorization. Memorize it. That will give you the first step for studies. The first step of study is memorization. Then don't stop there. That's where most of us stop. You give the first step, we think, okay, that's all the end of it. No. That's the initial stage. Then you have to think on that, question on that, analyze that, try to get that understanding theoretically, theoretical, mastery on the subject you attain. Then comes application part of it and attain mastery. So memorize, theoretical understanding, then practical application. These three put together is called study, is what he is referring as game. Sing, to be chanted. Yes. Next one is this devotion. With the practice of the intellectual discipline plus emotional discipline, mental discipline, the personality gets consolidated. No longer the personality is so fluid. The fluidity goes and solidifies. The personality is integrated, solid. That solid personality you have to attain internally first. Then what will happen, sir? Your physical discipline is, you will get it But to make it more stronger is where you go for this Sajjana Sangam, association with good. You are working on the study and devotion. But as you start putting this effort, this internal integration will start happening. But at the same time, you would be encountering very many challenges externally. Now you need that fencing to protect. Like you plant a tree and you put a fence around it, isn't it? Why do you put a fence? When the tree is growing, this animals can come, eat, and go away. Yeah, the goat will come and eat the leaves and go away. As it is eating the leaves, it will tear and the roots will come out. The plant will die. So what do we do, sir? We don't allow the animals to come and eat the leaves, eat that plant. So we put a fence to protect the tree. Now, once the tree grows fully, what happens? You can keep cutting the branches and keep feeding the leaves to the goats. Nothing will happen to the tree. The tree will keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. It will keep coming again, and you don't require fence. You don't have to worry about it till you grow into that size. Similarly, you are putting that effort for your internal growth. What is effort? Study, devotion. That effort you are doing, there's no doubt about it. But then the goats from the world can come and eat you up in the initial stages. So the initial stages, you require a fence. What is a fence that you have to have around you is this Sajjana Sangha. You can't afford to expose yourself to the world directly because they will eat you up. It will eat you. The samsara will consume you. The people around you will consume. Now, because it is so tender in the initial stages, when the tree comes out, the sapling comes out, and it is so tasty for the goats, not for you and me. For the goats, it's very tasty. So what they'll do, it will come and eat that and go away. The initial stages of your spiritual state growth, you require that fence. Therefore, we go for these people. Now, develop that fence around you is the third advice at the physical level. So you have that fence around you. Also, internally, that tree is growing. Okay, using these two things, technique of study and visualization. With these two things, internal growth is happening. Personality is getting solid, integrated. You are growing. All this is happening internally for you, and externally also everything is protected environment you are creating. That is what is meant by Sajjana Sangha. Right? 3. Then fourth one, it gives a very interesting phenomena. He says fourth layer, he says you have to do is wealth given to the needy. Now you find every religion in the world talks about this. Their religions have given as a percentage also. This much of percentage has to be given in charity. Now, we wonder, why should you do charity first of all? Now, the world is not so pathetic, demanding your wealth. Right? Now, why do you have to give? Why do you have? Now, this is where, people like Karl Marx could not find an answer. So he thought all these religious groups, religion is exploiting people. this advice is one of the most criticized advice. What is it, sir? You have to do charity. Now, when they ask that question, why should you do charity? Why is religion asking you to do charity? Because this is different from Rotary Club. Remember, now this instruction is coming from Shankara. Shankara is not our Rotary Club member, president, who says, or he is not running an NGO, right? Muhammad is not running an NGO. Christ is not running a trust. But he says you have to give. Now, when Krishna says you have to do yajna dhana tapah karma, you have to do, he says in the Gita. Dhanam has to be given. At the same time, they say with dhanam you are not going to gain realization. Now we get confused. Either you say do dhanam, you will get realization, moksha, or you say you don't have, doing dhanam has got nothing to do with realization. Then don't do dhanam. You don't have to do dhanam because anyway it has got no connection, right? But these fellows, what they say is, no, you have to do it. No option. Is it optional, sir? No, there is no option here. That's why, your religions, they have given a percentage also. This much percentage of your income should be kept aside. Like, our income tax department. They say that much of tax you have to pay to the state. Similarly, these people say, at least if the government, they give some, relaxation, all that. Up to, 2.5 lakhs, you don't have to pay tax. At least, at least in India, these people say, this government. But these guys, they say, what? No. Even if you get 1 rupee income, that much percentage should be given. 10 paise should be given to, I'm just saying, I'm just arbitrarily saying, okay? Now, it's not that up to 2.5 lakhs, you don't have to do charity. No. Even if you are a beggar, you have to do charity. It is not that only when you become super rich, you have to do charity. No. Everyone has to do it because this is universal message. Then why they are asking you to do charity? Why should you do charity, man? Why religion is asking you to do charity? For this question, Karl Marx did not get an answer. So he said what? All these fellows want to live a lazy life, exploiting the public. So what to do? We keep on telling you people what you have to do. All of you to do charity. Okay? I've asked many of them, why do you have to give, man? Why should you do charity, first of all? Why is religion asking you to do charity? Why Shankara is asking you to do charity? So is Shankara is equal to Rotary Club and Lions Club? No. He has no agenda. What he will do with that money? Even if you do charity to Shankara, what is he going to do with that? He has no plans. He has no program. Now what is he going to do with that? But still, he says, you must do charity. For what? Remember, you can't say you will get moksha. You see, you cannot say that. Why? Because just about 2 verses before, he said what? What is spiritual path, sir? Punya, apunya, vivarchita panta. Spirituality means what? Neither punya nor papa. So, he can't say, do charity, you will get punya. You will go to heaven. So, he can't say, I am asking you to do charity so that you will get moksha. Not possible, because there are so many verses in the Vedas we have from the Upanishads proving you are not going to get it through any one of these things. out. Moksha you can't get. Okay. You do charity so that you will get punya. Then that is not spiritual. We come to Shankara because of what he is a spiritual man. Right? Otherwise, who is going to be interested in what Shankara is going to say? See, to know about what is coronavirus, we are not going to be checking in Bhajagovindam. What is the solution for coronavirus? You can't be searching in the Vedas for that, in the Upanishads for that. It's absurd. You see, you got to go and ask you got to search in biology. You can't even study physics for that. You can't study, okay, laws of motion. What is the connection to laws of motion and coronavirus? Look like, madness that is. Exactly same way here. Now coming to Shankara, because he himself had said, it is neither punya nor papa. Now, third option, I'm just ruling out one by one. First option, moksha, ruled out. Second option, punya, ruled out. Third option is what? Exploitation. So that he can live a comfortable life. The lifestyle recommended for these people is not a comfortable life. They should not live a comfortable life. That is the lifestyle of theirs. So we can't say that he is asking us to do the charity so that he can live a comfortable life. That is also not possible. So that is also ruled out. Then for what is he asking us to do charity? This is the question. Very, very interesting. I'm not going into the other dimensions of it. There are various dimensions to charity. This is one facet. I remember a few years back, this in the Vedanta treatise, there is a portion in this, those who want to know more about charity can study that portion. The strength of emotion. There is a chapter, strength of emotion. In that he discusses various emotions like love, kindness, all that. In that he is discussing charity. And I was explaining charity. We did that for about 4 classes. 4 weeks, we were having 4 classes on charity, explaining what various aspects, dimensions. It has so many aspects to it. Beautiful concept. How these guys have conceived of various aspects in that charity. One of the fundamental question you have to ask is, why religious masters or the spiritual masters are asking us to do charity? Now, why Bill Gates is asking us to do charity is for a different reason. I'm not saying what he's saying is wrong. Okay. When Bill Gates says we should do charity, he's saying it for a different reason. Now, his reason and Shankara cannot be having same reason. Even though both of them are saying the same thing. He also says do charity, he also says do charity. But you can't say both are coming from same page. He's coming from a totally different angle. You have to understand that. Only then you would get that inspiration to do charity. You should be inspired to do it. From where you are going to get, sir? By understanding the context of charity first. Usually what I do is I ask this question and leave. As I find out and come back. Only then you will understand the complication. Now, so far I have seen people coming back only with these 3 answers. Exploitation, moksha, or swarga, heaven. You go to heaven. Now, giving that, so that world will need you is no. Then we are talking exactly like, then we are saying Shankara is equal to Bill Gates. That's all. There's no big difference. between Shankara and Bill Gates. Both are saying the same thing. Both are coming from the same angle. We say no. Then from where he is coming? All build up is only for this. For what they are asking you to do charity, sir. When you do charity alone, you will understand, it will expose how attached you are to your wealth. You see, when you do charity, the charity will expose one thing to you. What is it, sir? It will not do anything good to you, but it will expose your attachment. How much you are attached to wealth will be known when you do charity. Because you are just parting with your wealth. Now, when you just give up something which you have earned, you slogged and you get it, just give it away. It's not easy thing to do. To part with something for which you have worked. To part with something which you have not worked is not a big problem. That is very easy. But when I slogged, when I earned money, every one of you know it is not easy to earn a rupee. How much you got to work. You see, so, a lot of people say that, all these rich fellows are all bad. I say, no, you got to have respect for the work they have done. The fellow had studied, how much he had struggled to understand the subject, how much of sacrifices people do when they go abroad. Now you think, they are so happy there. No. They left their family, they leave their, things, everything. They just go there and stay. And once a year, they come for 1 month to India. Right. That also, jet lag. When they come back, 1 week gone in jet lag. You won't even understand where he is and what he is doing. Where he is. And then last 4 days is gone in the packing itself, purchase and packing. Right. Already the thought comes, I have to go now, all those things. Now, effectively, he is here only for this much time. Now, whole year, amazing to what a sacrifice that is. It's not easy. I had to sacrifice the family, sacrifice the pleasure, sacrifice that, feeling. And in a strange country to stay is, any country for that matter. If it is not your country, you can never be comfortable in that. You can live there for years. You will never feel you belong to that place. It's maybe 7th, 8th generation may feel like that. But the first generation who goes there, settle down. It's such a pain for them. All those things they are doing for what? Only to earn. You see, that he has to give up for nothing. No returns. At least this master should say, hey, you do charity here, your first class citizenship you will get in heaven. You do little charity, first class citizenship. You do ordinary charity here, you get only local citizenship. You do a bad charity, well, what is it, sir? You go to third class citizenship in this. That's what Annie Besant goes and says, to Gandhi. She got into fight with Gandhiji. She went and told Gandhi, it's becoming too expensive to keep you poor. He got into trouble with it because to show Gandhiji simple, they have to spend so much. Yeah. He says, it's better you wear, these things and come out, man. Yeah. In a way, it's so expensive, man. He says, same way. Third class ticket, you'll catch. But the problem is what? They have to book the entire bogie. You will travel in the third class only. But third class is not third class of everybody. Right? Not possible. Why? It's a risk. They can't take a chance. They can't put him with the normal people. So what to do? They have to book the entire coach. She says it's easier for us to book one first class ticket. You get a cabin for yourself. You are safe. To keep you safe, we have to spend more so that we can. All of us can read what Gandhiji is such a simple man. He travels always in third class. Third class entire coach you have. Obviously, what difference does it make? It's a height of luxury actually. Similarly, you do this good here, you will go to heaven, at least they have to say. They say what? No. That is not what is my point is. I am not asking you to do this for heaven. If you do this with the eye on heaven, you are useless. You are rejected. You are a waste. Why? Spirituality means what? Punya, apunya, vivarchita panta. Then why are you asking me to do charity? No. It will diagnose your problem. So, this charity, what he is saying here, is not to do good to the world. Remember, the charity will tell how much you are attached to your wealth. Your attachment will get exposed. It's nothing to do with giving, please. Remember, charity is not the act, it's the thought. The thought of just giving, you see, will start thinking, for what? Why the question is asked? From where the question is coming, sir? I don't want to part from this. I want to make it as a good investment. What is the best investment? One is I invest in the stock market. I will get returns here. Another thing is what? Charity, investment, so that I get the returns in heaven. Guarantee of my seat in heaven. Is that the reason? There is no. Charity, he is asking you to do. Distribute wealth to the needy. Why is it? That's where it gives that term. That needy is the catch. The catchphrase is that. Dina Janaha. Now, who is the Dina Jana? The Dina Jana is the needy. Now, what do you mean needy? Everybody is in need of money. You can't say that, there are a few people who don't need money. Even Bill Gates needs money. You can't say Bill Gates doesn't require money. He also needs money. Right? A beggar in the streets also needs money. Everybody needs money. Then why is he, including that as an important point? Needy means not about him. It shows your ability to recognize the need of others. You see that? It's not the need, remember. Then what does it say? It is my ability to recognize what the other person needs. You see? That demands what? Identification. My ability to identify with that person. If I identify with them, I would know exactly what they need. Like, it's a very example, when I give it, become very easy. The child's cry is same. It will cry. Mother will say, he doesn't want to play now. Don't keep playing with him. He wants to sleep. Right? Mother has not come. She has not seen the child. Nothing. She knows exactly what that fellow wants. That is the time the father will go and do what? Let us play. He will go. The mother say, hey, shut up, man. He wants to sleep. Another time he cries again. He cries. She says what? I think he is having stomach pain. Give him this. I say, has he told you? How do you know? Other time he cries. But the best part is the cry is same. It's not the different cries he is going to give. The cry is same cry. He says, he is hungry now. Feed him. Yes, he is irritated. Don't irritate him. He is crying. Why? You are irritating him now. Or I think, he has to pass. He's having stomach pain. He has this. How does she know all that? How she is able to recognize all those things? He has got a PhD or what? Nothing. A illiterate lady. But still, her ability to understand the child is so much so. How? Identification. That's why one of the fascinating practices we have in Tirupati is they apply Amritanjan. There is a ritual in Tirupati, Pattu powder, they say, they apply headache. It seems Balaji gets headache. Why? They say, you got to ask him, how can he get headache? Obviously, every day he is meeting 50,000 people come and tell him, I have this problem, I have that problem. He has to give solutions like that. Tuck, he has to give solutions. 50,000 fellows per day, if he keeps giving solutions without any rest, what will happen to him? Obviously, he'll get headache, no? At least once in a while. So what do we do, sir? Apply that. And then they give oil bath. Massage also they give. You should see those, people giving, this Abhishekam when they do. I've seen one man doing it in our village, this Ganesha temple, just outside our house. The temple, he would give, oil bath to Ganesha. Any Abhishekam comes, first thing we apply oil, like all of us, we consider him. And he gives massages. It's a stone. He said, it's a stone, man. What? Just apply, no, and pour. That's all you have to do. No, apply, and then he will take and he will, check the quality of the powder. Is it good smell? If it is not good smell, he will say, from where you got this? He will ask. And he will ensure that it's not in the eyes. Because if it goes into his eyes, it will burn, no? He say, these guys must be off cases, say. But it shows only what, sir? Their ability to identify. When you identify with the other person, you will know exactly what that fellow needs. What is needed for him. If there is no identification, you can't understand. Even if he comes and tells you, you will not understand. Big deal, and walk out. The child will come and say, Papa, I need this. You won't even understand. A real parent is one who is able to recognize the need of the child even before the child can ask and give that, provide it. That shows your identification with that person. The charity you have to do. Why? Why you have to do charity? Not that it is going to be helping the other person. It helps you. In what way it helps you? It helps you to understand how much you are attached to your wealth. You start doing charity, you will know your attachment to wealth. Till then, you will not know. Till then, you will not even understand. I am a very charitable person, sir. I am a very good person, we think. There is no. Charity you do. You would recognize. You will understand the value. Then comes the next question. To whom should I do charity, sir? To the needy. Again, it's nothing to do with the other person. Again, it exposes what? Exposes your ability to recognize. Recognize, identification. These 4 disciplines you practice. This study, this visualization, then guidance, protection, then sharing, charity. This is what is referred as the study, parayana, and bhakti, devotion, or upasana, satsanga, and dhanam. Practice these things. Now with this, the 14 disciples have given their reply back. Now, this next few verses, Shankara gives the concluding remarks, summary, or you can take it as blessings of Shankara. Shankara is so satisfied with the reply from the students. He is so happy that they got the message. So the 14 disciples have replied to the message given by Shankara in the 12 verses. The first, the 12 verses he gave the message. The first verse is chorus. So from first verse onwards, the message started. In fact, the message of his started from the very first verse, in fact. Now he gave. And up to this, the reply of the students have happened. Now these 4 verses, 28, 29, 30, 31, these 4 verses sums up the entire Bhajagovindam in the form of a blessing. When the teacher summarizes the whole thing, that means that's the blessing. He is so happy. That's what it means. So we take it as his summary of these four verses. Now, verse 28, he talks about enjoyment. 4 verses are there. What is the central idea of those 4 verses? I'll explain. I'll just state now first. And then we'll go to the verse proper. 28, he gives enjoyment, Kamini. 29 talks about acquisition, Kanchana. Then 30, again Shankara gives up the summary of entire spiritual effort. What is the effort? What is the tapas you have to do? Gives. 31, importance of Guru. Why this personal guidance is needed. The value of Guru. With that, he blesses. That's the blessings of Shankara. So 28, 29, 30, 31. 4 verses. Right. Now let's see this verse 28. Sukata kriyate Rama bhogaha paschadante sharire rogaha yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchat ashacharanam. Sukata kriyate Rama bhogaha paschadanta sharire rogaha yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchat papacharanam. One happily takes to carnal pleasure. Alas, later on, the body becomes diseased. Although death is the end in the world, even then one does not leave his sinful ways. Even everybody knows death is the end, right? If at all you think of, what is so sure about life, sir? Is there anything that is guaranteed about life? They say only one thing is guaranteed about life. That is, your death is guaranteed. Of course, my death is also guaranteed. It's not that, my death is not guaranteed. Okay. We know that. Still what we do, sir, still we will not leave our, wrong ways of lifestyle. The wrong lifestyle we will not leave. Even then we will not leave it. We will still continue to live with that same pattern. Sinful ways. Even then he does not leave his sinful ways. Now, sinful, I've told this. Sin in philosophy means mental agitation, mental disturbance. If you are disturbed, you are sinful. That's all. What does it mean? Sin is not in action. Sin is in the reaction happened in your mind because of your action, because of your lifestyle, because of whatever you do in life. That rebounces towards you, boomerangs, and causes mental agitation. That is called the sinful ways. It says don't leave that. What is it? Is you just go happily. Sukhata kriyate Rama bhoga. You happily take to this sense pleasures, this fleeting pleasures. You take the sense pleasures to be ultimate in life. Life means what? Maja. It should be maja. What is maja? Earlier, when we get these vacations, we used to go to our relatives' houses. The relative house, we'll go and stay there for 10 days, or they come here, we go there. It's happening. Now, vacation means what? Some exotic place you have to go. Abroad, somewhere you have to go. If you don't go abroad, finished. If you are not done that international travel, then they think, you are outcast. Like, you're not supposed to live in this world at all. You're not qualified to live. Where you have to go? Some country you have to go. Some unknown country you have to go and look at that and come back. Of course, you'll take some pictures also there and post in the FB page, which nobody sees. And people keep giving likes for that also. You prepare idli in the morning and put it, they give like. You go all the way from here, you go to see that Egypt, mummy. You stand and take a picture, post. That also the fellow says, like, king, they put one like and go. And you count on that. For that you spend how much money? Why is that? It's a status symbol now. Even vacations have become a status symbol now. You can't just go to a normal place and come back. You just can't do normal things and feel that, you have to do something weird. You can't be normal. All mental cases. That's what he's saying here. You take to that pleasure where you land there only. All, that's why we have these tattoos everywhere, the body. Snake is crawling on the body. And the fellow says it's a tattoo. For what you have to have that? Piercing here. In the ears itself, they have 5. And on the eyebrows also. Eyebrows there, one fellow has it in the tongue. I don't know how he eats. Whole day, one small thing goes and gets stuck in the teeth. He feels so uncomfortable. A fellow whole day, he say, I saw one fellow in the gum he had. The gum. Had put one, it's crazy. Dizzy. You get into that sickness. Why? That's the danger of sense pleasures. You start the contact. The moment you contact, you feel something happening. You get a pleasure. You get that pleasure, you indulge. You indulge in the contact. The moment you start indulging in the contact, you get addicted to it. And then you get tired of that contact. Now that you are addicted and you are tired, can you stop it? Not possible. You will want it. At the same time, you cannot continue that. Why? You are tired. I am tired, but I have to do it. What will happen to the body? That's what we talk about obesity. Why? That, the teenagers. Nowadays, you will never see a teenager normal. You will never find a teenager normal now. Impossible. Why? All overweight. Why? Indulgence. It's indulgence in the sense pleasures. You just keep sitting and eating chakku, potato chips, fried, this one, that one. all that, keep on eating. It's not that you should not contact. Immediately people take the other extreme and say, oh, therefore what you have to do? Deny everything. No, it's not denial. Remember, it's your ability to ration and balance. Your ability to, maintain that balance. In that search of pleasure, you land in sickness. That search of pleasure. That's what they show. Every movie you go, before that movie, they show no the tobacco advertisement. You see, one fellow, he chews tobacco. What had happened, sir? The whole face is gone. Have to take it out, and still that fellow is not able to survive. He dies, and they put it up there. By the time they made this movie, the thing, by the time it had come out, that boy passed away. What was he doing there? Indulgence. Result is disease. Later on, body becomes diseased. Disease means dis-ease. Your body is not in ease. That's called disease. There's something wrong with your body. And your body is so much of pain, so much of problem. Why all that? Blood pressure and diabetes and diabetes. We think it is to do with your hereditary. No, it's to do with your lifestyle. We had this belief. It's a myth. They say no, it is nothing. It's not that the last son or the last daughter will get this one. It is no. Then what is it, sir? It's your lifestyle. How you live your life. Are you disciplined in the contacts? That's what he says. Rama Boga. See, this Rama, don't take it as Rama. Ayodhya Rama. No, that is not what is referred here. Rama means, it is coming from the root Ram. Means to revel, to cherish. You see, this Ramate Asmin iti Rama. That in which you revel, that which makes you revel. Where are you reveling? You are reveling in the sense contacts. You are reveling in the sense pleasures. You are enjoying that so much. What is the result, sir? You will get addicted. And then what will happen? You will get tired. You will get fatigued. Still, you cannot leave it. You will continue. Your body will lose its capacity. That's why we see people, 35, the fellow looks like 45. 35, 40, they lose hair. Hair gone, tooth gone, this gone, that gone, everything is gone. Why? Indulgence. They look so old, very young itself. In middle age, you look old. Why? Indulgence. Don't indulge, he says. If you do that, what will happen, sir? Papa charanam. Still, you know there is death. There is death, you know that. But still, you will not leave. What is it, sir? You won't leave it. Why? Because everyone genuinely believes they are going to be here for a longer period of time. That's a belief. The belief is what? I genuinely believe I have another 20 years to live. Minimum. Because average age is 67. No. 70. Average age. I have got another 20 years for me. No problems. And the fellow who is in 70 thinks what? I have little more time to go. And the fellow thinks I have little. There are people who have lived up to 105. Therefore what? He also thinks. Everyone thinks that they are going to be here for a longer period of time. See, what you don't understand is this body is given to you for what? This embodiment is given to you for what? not for you to indulge in the senses, not for you to indulge and destroy it. This is given to you as a gift. It's given. Make a proper investment. It's gifted to you. It's given to you by nature or by God, whatever you call it. It's given to you. What you have to do is invest it appropriately. Investment of that is these such sadhana that you do. This body is given to you to perform. Use it, not own it. The problem is you want that ownership. To maintain that ownership, for that ownership of this body, you compromise on values. You see, that's the problem. And that's what he means by sinful ways. You still won't leave that sinful ways. Right? The body is given for you to use, correct. But you can't own it. You can't claim the ownership towards it. So you can use it, yes. Use it properly. And then what you have to do? The fellow who has gifted to you, when he asks, return it with thanks. Now, how many of us return the body with thanks to him and in a proper condition? There will be a natural wear and tear, correct? The natural wear and tear will definitely happen. No doubt about it. I've seen people, they borrow car. Hey, I have to use this, man. Can I use it for my car is gone for service? They say, okay, take it here. I use the car and come back and leave the car. Fill that petrol and keep. No. They don't do that. Right royally, the fellow uses, goes everywhere and comes back and leaves the car and goes away. Who is going to fill petrol? I'm not saying, I am in such a pathetic condition that I can't fill petrol for my car. It's not that. It means what? Clean it. Clean that car. Keep it in a proper condition. And give that car to that person. Now, return it with thanks. Same way, fantastic equipment was given to us. The filtering power of kidney. No human has ever invented a filtering process like that of kidney. You can't. It's impossible. Human intelligence will never be able to match it. What a filtering process. Huh? Imagine if that is not working, what will happen to us? You should ask those people who go for dialysis. What a pain, what a pain. It's happening to all of us so naturally, effortlessly. You are not doing anything for it. It works perfectly. And nature has given you 2 kidneys also. Why? It knows you will abuse it and destroy it. That's why nature has given you a spare one also. What do we do, sir? Destroy both. You are given a proper body. Do you maintain it? Immediately what you have to do? I am a fitness freak, sir. So every day I do exercise for 4.5 hours. Another crack. Either this side or that extreme. You don't, there's no balance at all actually in life. Either you take it, you use that body. It's a fantastic equipment given to you. No matter how old you are, doesn't make any difference. Still that body is functioning, no? Can you believe? An equipment which has been used to so much so, it is still functioning. Are you happy to return that? Now he will ask anytime he wants it back. Now you can't decide. That's where our problem is. I am the owner of it, no? So I will decide how long I should be housing in this, how long I should. It's given to you. This death means that. Death is ending of ownership. When you end that ownership, don't have it. drop that ownership to the body, you will not indulge in the senses. How do you stop that indulgence, sir? Understand, you are not the owner, you are the user. You have the authority, you are a trustee. That's about it. It's like you are staying in a hotel room. You don't own anything, but you can use everything in the room. It's a free stay. The hotel has invited you as their guest and said, 3 nights and 2 days you can stay in our hotel. You stay there happily, enjoy all the facilities there, and then fourth day morning, what you have to do? Check out. When you check out, how you should check out? With gratitude, you should go back. You can't be grumbling how bad he is. He is asking me to check out now. Right? Freely he has given you. This body is given to you freely. Use it. Have that attitude. Develop that attitude. This is just a trustee. I've been entrusted this body by nature or God. Now my business is to return it appropriately. But I have the full freedom to use it. Full freedom to use it means I have full freedom to even abuse it. What are we doing, sir? Using or abusing? Answer that question. You understand this verse. Thank you. Hari Om.